So that you know, those who are present, I'm going to give you a short introduction, all right? And later on, I will be giving you a short session on the title, right? So it was all about omnichannel marketing for omnichannel strategy for profitable marketing, right? And this is what you came for, and this is what you're going to get. Okay, I can see Elizabeth now.
We can see you. Hi.
How are you?
Oh, now you can hear. We can hear. That's amazing.
I made a refresh to my webpage.
All right. Yeah, that works for most of the time. Okay. So just waiting for some minutes now before we start. And as I said, I'm going to do a short introduction of our course. And later on, I'm going to give you that short session, which would be an appetizer, so to speak, of what is to come. I'm really happy to announce, just waiting for some more minutes, that our last intake had a net promoter score of 77, which is, mind-blowing. Most of our students are recognizing the value that they're getting, because it's not just about the theory in this course, it's also about giving you the practice. So we're creating a realistic environment of a business. It's not a real business, but it's realistic. In
Pedro,
the sense that, yep.
Yeah, Carlos is saying that actually it was 82 because there was one student who did it like a few days after the deadline. So the final NPS score was 82.
All right. For those of you who are not acquainted with Net Promoter Score, it's basically amazing to have more than 50 points. And we managed to reach 82 points. And as I said, it's all because we not only give you the theory, we also give you the practice. And this is something quite unique. I have scoured most business schools in Europe and also in the United States to find a similar course like this one, and I could only find a couple of them. And what makes this course unique is that we create an environment that actually looks like a real business. And the thing is that we're going to give you a website. We're going to also give you a Google Ads account so that you can perform actual ads with a real budget on this website. We're going to show you SEO techniques. We're going to show you SEM techniques. You're also going to have a Facebook business page related to this fake business, but realistic business, so that you can put in practice almost everything that we teach you throughout the course. And you're going to be able also to analyze all the performance data that is going to pour into your website and to your Facebook business page. And you're going to be having also a Google Analytics account. So you're going to learn all of these tools plus more tools that SEOs and SEMs and social media managers and social marketing managers actually use. And the thing is not only to be able to talk the talk, but also be able to walk the walk. And that's why we're getting such high scores for Net Promoter Scores. Because it's basically the perfect mix that in very little time, in just 4 to 5 weeks, you're going to be able to acquire what is strategic in theory, but also you're going to get the technical, practical side of digital marketing to complement it. So you're going to be able to walk into a marketing meeting, for example, and not only be able to understand what people are talking about in that meeting, but you're also going to be able to contribute meaningfully to that meeting. You're also going to be learning how your technicians or your employees or maybe your agency what are their jobs consisting of, and what is the difficulty, and how much time do they need to implement certain tasks. So it's really a complete picture of digital marketing, not just the theory or not just the technical, but both the strategy, the tactic. Okay, and that's why we're getting such good grades with our former students. Okay, so I'm going to start right away. Let me introduce myself. I'm Pedro Moreno Rios, and I will be your main teacher, your main professor for this course. I've been teaching for over 5 years now, after 15 years of experience in marketing and 10 years in digital marketing with some of the most interesting brands out there, such as Disney or Procter & Gamble, also with agencies such as Ogilvy and Mather. And I'm willing to give my best so that you also not just become acquainted with digital marketing, but you get the passion for it. And this is my signature, that I try to inspire you, not just deliver the content, but also to make you itch and to make you really passionate and wonder how all this digital marketing thing works. Because let's face it, what I'm going to teach you is going to be valid for what, maybe a year or a year and a half, more or less. And after that, a lot of it is going to be obsolete because digital marketing is always, evolving. All right, well, that's my little introduction speech. I'm also going to be presenting Javier. Javier is a collaborator of mine for many, many years now. And I never doubted that, I was going to get Javier on board to this project because he's really passionate about it. And he's not only passionate about digital marketing, he's also passionate about teaching. And he's very, very, how would you say, he's very into students. So he enjoys explaining. He enjoys, dealing and conversing with you with all your doubts and all your questions. And I haven't mentioned this, but Javier is actually a Google certified partner. And he has extensive experience with the Google Ads platform and in not only digital marketing, but also marketing as a strategy in general. All right, and finally, let me introduce you to Carlos. And Carlos is the head of recruitment for high impact online programs here. And he's the one responsible to get you in. So all your questions about when does it start, what is the process, how much does it cost, and all that, those are questions for Carlos. All right. So head on and hit Carlos with an email or a call or however you can get in contact with him just to get the information that you need. All right. So let me understand a little bit about yourselves. We want to know you. We want to become customer-centric. This is one of the teachings of my course. And for us, we don't become customer-centric, we become student-centric. So we want to learn what makes you interested in this course. So I'm going to ask you to try out that little button that looks like a hand and click on it. All right, so click on that little icon that looks like a hand. As you can see, you have just raised your virtual hand, and I can see you already. Yeah. So let's have Abdallah. Can you please click on that little button here? The one that looks like a high five. Yeah, there you go. Great. Okay, so now I see that you have raised your hands and that you have something to say. So why don't you start? Elena. Yeah, welcome. How are you? I'm going to ask Abdallah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So,
all right, go ahead.
A little background about myself. I have been working in sales department in Nestle Health Science about 7 years, for 7 years till now. So And I'm interested in marketing as a whole, but in today's digital world, as I said, we have to know everything about digital marketing. And my interest would be what is the difference between digital marketing and the normal marketing or all the traditional marketing. As for my understanding, I think digital marketing is more focused about um, commercials or customer centric through PC, iPhones, mobiles, uh, while traditional marketing is more focused at point of sales, I think, as far as I understand. So my interest here today is about what is the difference between both digital marketing and traditional marketing.
All right, I got a quick
I got a
answer for
quick
you.
answer for you.
And the thing is that I don't like to talk about digital marketing anymore, because I think that all marketing now is digital. So when you put, for example, your domain name on a newspaper ad, that is digital already. And even when you put TV ads, you actually see a spike in people searching from their mobile phones. So we're now talking about integrated marketing, where offline and online need to come together. So that, for example, in that same example, when you launch your ads on television, you can actually have a program running in the background that identifies your ad on TV and launches a very small search engine marketing ad campaign. So that when people search for you on your mobile phones after they saw your ad on TV, your ad campaign is blowing. And you normally do this for 30 minutes or so after the ad has run. So during those 30 minutes, you multiply the reach of your marketing and you complement both online and offline at the same time. All right, so yeah, this is called Sync Search. It's quite interesting. There are some companies now that are doing this, and this is something that we show you here. Okay, so let's have a look at somebody else. I don't know, Slavena. Slavena, am I pronouncing this right, by the way? I have no idea. Slavena might be shy. Can you write on the chat at least so that we know if you're there? All right. Hello. Yes. Okay. Elizabeth, you raise your hand. Would you like to contribute?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Elizabeth. I'm from Portugal, and I'm web developer. But as you say, and very, very nice to what you. I appreciate what you said, that we are all together. Today, it's not only marketing, that marketing and marketing digital are together. So I work with digital marketing, and I'm here because, as you said also, the information in marketing is always growing, and in a little time of space, it's obsolete. Sorry, my English today is not so good. So
don't worry, I'm getting you. So what is your motivation?
Because it's as you said, the digital marketing and marketing is growing, is changing, and I like and love to understand another ways of view, another approach, and it's the reason that I'm here.
Great. Well, we're going to equip you with the full belt of all the tools that digital marketers use. Digital marketing is just infinite.
Yes.
As I said, it's an introductory course, but we're going to delve deep in all the concepts. And we're going to show you all the tools that we use to do digital marketing. And it's going to be up to you to, be able to implement them inside your project today, or maybe get a job, because I suspect that some of you are trying to, repurpose your careers and try to abandon those safe positions that you hold today, and try to go to new horizons in a more digital world, as you're saying. So we're going to equip you with a real tool belt, yeah, with all the tools that you can use, and all the real tools. So it's not a simulation. You're going to see that with the ads that you're going to be publishing, you're going to impact real consumers, and real consumers are going to click on your ads, and they're going to write over on Facebook to say, I want to go to your business, and you're going to have to deal with these customers as if you were a real business. All right, interesting. Anybody else? We have this mysterious person here called GD. GD, I wonder who you are. Can you, give us the gift of your voice at some point? Nope. All right. Well, this session is structured around a brief introduction at a very high concept level. Okay, I'm going to start right away into my presentation. I wasn't able to see your comment, so don't worry. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. All right. So here we are, an omnichannel strategy for profitable marketing. Omnichannel is a big word now in most retailers. And actually, it stopped being for fast-moving consumer goods and started to be ubiquitous for any business. All businesses now have to be careful to integrate their online and their offline world for many reasons, some of which I'm going to portray in this presentation. Now, let me introduce you first to the customer journey. The customer journey does not happen in real life. It actually happens inside people's heads. It's what governs the behaviors of consumers when they go shopping. So as I'm going through all the different phases, please reflect on your own experience. The first phase is what we know as the awareness phase. In the awareness phase, consumers need to be aware that they have a problem. And they also need to be aware that there are brands, products, and services out there that can help them solve this problem. So they probably have some top-of-mind brands where they remember these brands to solve these problems without needing an ad to remind them. And this happens after years of advertising and years of relationship with your consumers, that when they have this problem, they think about your brand first. Then we have the recall-aided awareness. And this type of awareness is the one that we actually get when we publish ads, and that reminds them not only of the existence of your brand, but an ad can actually remind them of the existence of a problem. Maybe they were not aware of the problem, and the ad makes them aware of this problem, which makes your product, a perfect fit for the solution. All right, so once you're aware of the problem and you're also aware of the existence of products out there that can help you, you go and you start evaluating, brand A, brand B, brand C, which one is best for me? And you're going to be evaluating based on several factors, such as price, convenience, quality, functionalities, design, many, many different factors that apply to different product categories. In this evaluation process, you're probably going to be shortening the list down to 2 or 3 contenders. And they go on to the purchase phase. Now, in the purchase phase, this is what we know as the first moment of truth. Because those brands who are able to sell, they are beating the competition. So when you go brand A, brand B, brand C, I'm going to go with brand C. You have made a choice to prefer brand C. In the awareness phase, with all our ads, we create familiarity so that when people get to the supermarket, for example, and they find themselves between brand A, brand B, and brand C, whichever product they saw on an ad they are familiar with, which gets that brand preferred over the competitor brands. All right? Okay, so that first moment of truth, it's a moment of truth because the consumer has chosen you, has chosen your brand, has preferred your brand, and you're going to start a relationship as a customer after somebody has paid for your product. So that brand continues the relationship. The competing brands are out of the picture now. All right, so once consumers go and buy from you, they go to the second moment of truth, where they use your product. So they take the product home and they start using and they start reevaluating. You see, you get two different types of anxieties when you go shopping. You get pre-shopping anxiety, kind of like, is this the right thing? Can I get it cheaper somewhere else? Should I wait for the next model? All of this anxiety, questions in people's heads when they go shopping. And then you get post-purchase anxiety, post-shopping anxiety, where you sort of, have second thoughts, regrets, and you say, could I have gotten it cheaper? Did I do a right move? Have I waited for the next model? And in that second moment of truth, you have to reassure your customers that they did the right thing. They actually took the right decision. All right. If the usage is a positive experience and people are not having, unmet expectations, because that's what's happened. In the usage, people reevaluate and they say, is this meeting my expectations? Is this delivering on the promises that they made in their ads, in their marketing? Because if your brand breaks those promises, those consumers are going to be churning. They're not going to buy from you again. And they're actually going to go back into the awareness phase to see, if brand C didn't cut it for me, what other brands can I buy? Brand A, brand B, but because C is now discarded. But if it's actually a positive experience, then you go into the repurchase. And people tend to repurchase because if something is not broken, why does it need to be fixed? If you trust a brand already because you've experienced it, and you know that it works, and you know that all the functionalities, all the design, and all those evaluation factors are satisfying you, you don't need to take a decision anymore. You already took it when you bought it the first time. Next time, it's going to be an automatic loop. So you basically buy the same thing whenever the need comes. You don't think of other brands. You think of the solution that you have already, and you buy it over and over and over again in an automatic fashion. Finally, if that goes so well that your consumers love you, then they will become advocates, which means that they will be promoting your brand. And in order for a consumer to promote a brand, it's not enough to actually satisfy them. You have to wow them. They actually have to become in love with your brand. And they want to spread the word, like as if they were prophets. We actually use this word in marketing that is evangelists. So these people spread the word, which is the best marketing that you can get, because remember, you don't trust ads. You know they're a bunch of lies, but you do trust other consumers that have gone down the same path, that have actually bought the product and used the product, and they are telling you how good it is. And that's the most convincing marketing that any company can get. And it's extremely important today for reasons that I'm just about to tell you about. All right, so that's it. Through all the stages of the customer journey, you're going to have a lot of channels that you can use to try to influence your consumers, pushing them from one stage to the next. And some channels are ideal for some of these phases, and they don't work well with other phases. And you got to know what marketing mix you can apply, deciding each one of the channels, how does it influence, and how much money do you need to invest in each one of them to turn out a profit, which is, why you're all here. All right, so let me take you into a storytelling. to make this a little bit more amusing. I'm going to introduce you to John. And John has just left the doctor's office. And John was told by the doctor, look, John, you're approaching an age where, you know, if you don't take care of your health, I see here that your cholesterol levels are all up and, you know, you need to do some sports. And John now is aware that he has a problem. So as soon as John hits the streets, he starts to get impacted by ads that speak to him. Because he's aware of the problem, he pays attention to these ads. Isn't that funny how you pay attention to ads only when you have a necessity? Well, here he is. He's in the awareness phase. He knows nothing about this brand, but he perceives that it can actually give him a solution to his problem. Now, in this awareness phase, we're going to be using still traditional marketing channels. We're talking about mass media channels such as TV, radio, newspapers, or billboards on the streets. They still work, and most companies still today invest 50% of their budgets or more in this kind of marketing. And it's all here to create awareness, to create that familiarity, so that when people say brand A, brand B, oh yeah, I saw this one in TV, or maybe I saw it on the street, you know, in a bus billboard or something. And that familiarity gets your brand preferred over your competitors. You can also use email marketing, a digital channel, but I never suggest that you do this because email is for later purposes. If you blast consumers without their permission, even worse, with emails, you're going to be perceived negatively. And that can also get you into legal trouble if you're in places like Spain, for example, or generally in Europe. In some instances, in some other places, you will not get into so much trouble, legally speaking. But yet again, it's too early to use an email because you're not acquainted with. And email is a very personal channel. Another thing that you can do, and definitely we do, is display advertising. And we try to put our ads all over the internet, in publishers and websites and blogs and forums, you name it, right? So that this is actually the translation of the physical billboard that you can find on streets, like in bus stops and that sort of thing. But in this case, it's how it equates to online. And finally, you can also try to use social ads to create that familiarity that comes with awareness. And still it's difficult today because social feeds are reducing the amount of ads and branded content. But nevertheless, you know, it's a picture of how you can create that awareness that we're looking for. In this case, we're talking about push marketing because it's the company pushing the ads into your eyeballs. Whether you like them or not, you're going to get them. And it's hard to ignore them. It's hard to ignore them. And this is why it's also called outbound, because it's coming out of the company towards the consumer. All right, so we have here our consumer that started to search, pulled out his mobile phone, John, and started to search about that brand. Now, you probably take this for granted, but can you remember the time where if you wanted to search something on the internet, you had to go to a physical place, like a cyber cafe or your office, because they had a computer connected to the wall that was the internet? Now, we take this for granted, but all the consumers have perfect information at the tip of their finger, and they actually search a lot for products so that they start evaluating, which is the second phase. Now, this is from a study from Google several years back. They said, this is the customer journey. You get an ad, a stimulus that takes you to the shop, and at the shop, you decide which brand you're going to take home. And Google said, well, this is broken today because we've been teaching this in business schools for many, many decades, but now it doesn't apply anymore because now we have the internet. And people, before they go to the store, they already know what they want because they searched on the internet. And they got opinions and reviews. How important are these stars for you when you go on Amazon to buy stuff? How important are reviews and opinions in your choices when you buy stuff? So as you go down the customer journey, you get impacted by ads, you go online, you search for things, you look at tutorials, you look at videos, you look at articles, you go into forums, and then once you've made up your mind, you buy something. And then you take it home or you receive it at home and you use it, and you're bound to be leaving a review or an opinion that is going to be somebody else's. Zero moment of truth. This is what Google is calling it, the zero moment of truth. Before the first moment of truth, the purchase, and the consecutive second moment of truth where the consumer uses that product. All right, so in this evaluation stage or zero moment of truth, we're going to be talking about pull marketing. Because in this case, it's not the company pushing ads into your eyeballs, it's yourself going on Google and going to the internet to pull information out of it. All right? Okay, pull marketing, it's also called inbound marketing because it's the consumer landing inbound into your content. In this case, we want to create a hell load of content. You know, we want to create ebooks, we want to create videos, we want to create blog articles, even product pages could be considered content. All this content is going to be published online and searchable so that when your consumers are searching, they hit you and not the competition. In order to do this right, you're going to have to optimize the hell out of your content so that it appears on the first page of Google. If you're not on the first page of Google, your competitors probably are, and you're going to be missing out to them. If you're not on the first page of Google organically, meaning that the keywords from the search from the user are linking to your own keywords on your blogs and your websites, etc., you can also pay for ads with search engine marketing. All right, we're going to be taking all this content as well and sharing it around on social networks and trying to get influencers to, you know, help you viralize so that you can amplify the reach of your content. All right. Now we have John here has read some reviews and some opinions, and he's convinced. And he did another search to find the website from Scrog. And you can see that this website is mobile ready because it has big text and big buttons and big pictures. And having a responsive website that actually loads quickly on a mobile phone is essential for you to rank well. Bear in mind that this is the first moment of truth right here. This is where you make the purchase. This is where you prefer this brand over competing brands. And in this first moment of truth, we're going to be talking about a lot UX or user experience. So how users find your experience, if it's breezy, if it's easy to find the products that you want, if it's easy to pay for them, and the experience is not, you know, like a painful experience, because I've had really painful experiences in some websites that are just horrible to navigate, especially on a mobile phone. So if you have too many clicks to get to the purchase, or you have too long forms that people have to fill in a lot of data, yeah, that gets people aggravated, and that gets people bouncing out of your online purchase experience, and that's going to lower your conversion rate, which is, you know, what your website should be doing. It should be converting users into customers. All right, in order to do this well, you're going to need an analytical platform, one that is recording all your users' behaviors, everything they do, all the taps, all the swipes, all the clicks, all the back buttons, all the scrolling, everything that they do on your website or your mobile application. You want to be able to record it and analyze it so that you can see which steps of the e-commerce process are having trouble converting or having high bounce rates, for example. And then you can apply several techniques to try to increase that conversion rate in what is known as CRO, conversion rate optimization. Very linked to UX to how you design your website experience and your mobile app experience, but it's not the only one. There are several other techniques that are related to CRO that don't apply to UX. And finally, when some consumers, some users have actually gone onto your experiences and say, for example, that you put something in the shopping cart, well, you acquire this knowledge through the analytics. And now you're ready to retarget them with that same product. Retargeting ads are those that chase you around just because you visited a website or even visited a product page, or maybe you put a product inside a shopping cart. And, you know, if they actually showed some interest in that product, there's a high probability that they're interested in buying that product. So you chase them around in the hopes that finally they're going to buy the product in the end. All right, in this case, we have, sorry, John here has decided to go to the shop to pick it up. I don't know if you've done this, but it's starting to become mainstream that you can buy something online and then go to the shop. And then you go to the shop and you pick it up. This is what we know as click and collect. And it's part of an omni-channel experience, as you're going to see later on. So in this case, bear in mind that we're also talking about the first moment of truth. People going to the stores to buy stuff. We kind of have to have an experience there that is easy, that it's delightful, that it's not a painful experience, because shopping can be excruciating. Shopping is, you know, can actually be a job. You get on your car, you go to the mall, you park your car, then you have to fight humanity inside a store, and then you have to drag your, you know, your bags all the way to the car. It's a job. It's actually, you know, it requires a lot of effort. So for people to be converting better and buying more in your store, you better have a delightful experience, not a painful one. And here we're starting to implement some technologies like smart dressing rooms, where, you know, people can see virtual products. Or if how many times have you gone into a dressing room and you were too optimistic about your size and you got a smaller size, and now you have to get dressed, undressed, you know, and flip-flop around the store in your socks, and that is a really painful experience. So how about if you go into a dressing room and you can select the size that you want, and somebody in the store will get a buzz. And when they get that buzz, they say, oh yes, dressing room number 3 needs an XL. So it picks it up, picks the item, and takes it all the way to you. So you don't have to go through that painful experience. Also, painful experiences are paying for stuff inside stores. And this is why we're trying to enable self-checkouts so that you don't have to wait in line. Lines in the stores are business killers. And we want to try to reduce the lines as much as possible with easy payment methods like mobile payments. Yet again, how many times have you found yourself in a shop that you couldn't find a sales assistant and you needed to ask a question? Well, now we're enabling augmented reality as a form not only of promoting products, but also to helping people navigate the store. And the most powerful tool inside the store today that links with digital marketing is giving shop assistants a tablet or a mobile phone. So in that case, when a consumer comes in, maybe this consumer can be identified, and the shop assistant can get some details, some information that can help the shop assistant cross-sell and upsell. All right. So here we have John. He's in the second moment of truth. He's using the product. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he's loving every minute of it. Remember that if you don't deliver your promises here, John is going to have to reevaluate and say, this didn't work for me. You know, I'm going to go and buy something else. He's going to churn. He's going to stop being your client. So if you have a problem, you cannot leave John hanging like this, because he now is in charge. Before, if you actually left a customer like this, not too many people would notice. Not too many people would know about it. And that's why most brands were focused on selling as much as possible, but customer care was sort of, on the side. But today, consumers armed with their mobile phones and their social networks, it's very easy for them to get a lot of consumers know about your issues and your faulty brand and product experiences. So not only are you going to lose John as a customer, John is also going to tell other customers. So when John picks up the phone and calls your call center, you better have a good answer to this problem. All right, in the usage phase, we're talking about not UX because that's user experience. We're talking about CX, customer experience. Users are before the first moment of truth. After they have purchased, after the first moment of truth, they become customers. So CXM, customer experience management platforms, are in. We're talking about a customer relationship management tool that can help you with all the information and all the touch points that your consumers have been going through. We're talking about a voice of customer program so that you stick your ear to the ground and you hear all that your consumers are saying about your product and your brand experience. We're also talking about customer onboarding programs where you grab your customer by the hand and you take baby steps, kind of saying, okay, and this goes here and this goes that, and this is how you maximize the value of my product. So you teach them how to use your product so that they maximize the value out of it. And finally, whatever you do in the usage stage, in the second moment of truth, make sure that it looks good on a mobile phone because that's the device that people are paying attention today. All right, so now we have the final stages of the customer journey. The customer care agent that talked to John said, oh, John, there's no problem. I see here in my CRM that you just bought this just 2 weeks ago, so there's no problem. I'm going to send you a new pair of shoes, and I'm also going to be sending you a T-shirt for your troubles. And here he is. He's right now performing the magic of evangelism, of advocacy. You can see that he's happy as a puppy with two tails, and he's got a free T-shirt, and he's bragging about this brand to his friends. And you can see that one of his friends is already very interested because he's looking at those pair of shoes very intentfully. Have you noticed that John is now a walking, talking ad for this brand? I mean, he's even advertising here on his T-shirt. And these people, his friends, don't trust advertising anymore, but they trust John with his opinions. Now, there's a catch because John, he doesn't have many friends. So the reach that he might actually have with his message is very short. So how about Scrox sends an email to John and said, if you had a positive experience, wouldn't you like leaving a review? Now John has the potential reach of thousands of customers, maybe hundreds of thousands of customers with this opinion, with this review, that as him, they're going to be searching on the internet and they see John's comments and they get influenced by it. And John is now acquiring new customers for this brand. And this is the best marketing that you can get. This is where the marketing manna, falls from the sky. So in the loyalty and the advocacy stage, we also know this as the ultimate moment of truth. When consumers are so in love with your brand that they're ready to become walking, talking ads for no reason, just out of, uninterested. They're uninterested. They just want your best interest as a friend, as a family member. And here we're going to be pushing a lot of messages through applications and SMS and also emails with newsletters. And all of this has to be automated because you can't possibly do all of this by hand. Finally, social starts to become prominent again because it's on social media that you get the best returns when people are bragging about what they bought and how proud they are about a brand that they just acquired. Okay, so talking about profits, just make sure that you get this fundamental truth of marketing. Acquiring a new customer is so much many more times costlier than retaining an existing one. And the reason for this is that the early stages of the customer journey are quite expensive. We're talking about ads, billboards. We're talking about display banners. We're talking about search engine marketing. We're talking about content production, which is very expensive, videos and articles. And then the purchase with your analytical platform, your UX and your CRO and your retargeting. All of this is very expensive. Once they've gone through the first moment of truth, the latter stages are more affordable. They're actually quite cheap. If you're considering email, for example, how cheap is email? It's just like 0.0001 cent to send an email. And if you get a customer on an email to buy something else or to upgrade to a higher category of product, for example, that's just pure margin because it didn't have a relative cost associated to it. All right. Now, let me introduce you to omnichannel marketing. As the president of Macy's here is saying, omnichannel is all about making physical and digital shopping experiences and brand experiences to become unified in one single experience. So it's not like you have a mobile application and then you have a website that looks nothing like it, and then you have a store that, you know, looks nothing like it. It's more like having the same brand experience with the same look and feel, with the same products and the same prices and everything. Let me explain. In order to explain, you have to understand how the business model has evolved over the years. Now, probably my dad and my mom, when they went shopping, they got impacted by ads. They went to the shop, and that's where they got more information from the shop assistant. And they made the choice of what to purchase inside the shop. Now, once that was gone because the internet suddenly arrived and e-commerce platforms started to rise, well, there were more channels available. The thing is that in the early stages of e-commerce, a lot of retailers didn't understand it, and they didn't want to open an e-commerce because they thought it was going to cannibalize their store business. And the store business was booming, right? So what they did is they had a multi-channel approach. And a multi-channel is, I'm going to open an e-commerce, but I'm not going to mix them with my stores. What that created was two different experiences, to the point that if you actually bought something in an e-commerce, you couldn't go to the store and return it. And consumers were aggravated because they went to the store and say, hey, I bought this online. Could you please, return it? And the guy or the girl there would say, if you bought it online, you have to return it online because this is a store. It's a different thing. And customers would be thinking, well, isn't this the same business? Are you not the same company? And that created a lot of aggravations. And finally, brands understood it. It doesn't matter which channel you use, it has to be the same brand experiences. Because, you see, consumers do not perceive channels. They do not perceive information system integrations. Oh, yeah, they're having problems with their information system integration. They don't perceive that. They actually, all they perceive is what's their experience as a brand, as a whole. And now we're starting to see more and more that all brands need to go omnichannel, or else they will face extinction. And probably some of you are already here, with that problem. So you're probably going to hear that omnichannel is just multi-channel or cross-channel, but that is not true. Because with omnichannel, the goal is to become device agnostic, which means it doesn't matter if you're using a tablet, a mobile phone, a laptop, a desktop, a smartwatch, the brand is going to be consistent. So if you put a product inside the shopping cart in your mobile app, and then you forget about it for 2 days, and you go on to a desktop, the system is going to be able to recognize you as a customer and show your shopping cart with the same product that you actually added through your mobile phone. And it has to be very similar look and feel, and the design and everything has to be very, very similar. So the brand experience is maintained consistent. The next thing is to become channel agnostic. It doesn't matter if you buy it online or offline. You can always return it online or offline. You can buy it online and go offline to pick it up. You can buy it offline and, ask them to deliver it to your house. And these two channels need to complement each other, and they need to work in unison. Finally, you also want your brand to become location agnostic. And not internationally, but at least inside the same country borders. So if I buy something here in Barcelona and I come to Madrid and I go to a shop and say, hey, I bought this in Barcelona, they would say, no problem. We are the same company. It's the same brand experience. You're definitely entitled to a return here in Madrid. You start to understand what Omnichannel is. But it's really hard because you have to integrate all your information systems. So think about it. When somebody in Zara just across the street here in Serrano, if somebody lifts up a jacket out of the rack in Zara, the rack actually communicates this event to the website so that in real time, if a consumer is looking at the jackets, and it used to say there were 5 items, as the consumer inside the shop lifts the dress out of the rack, it's updated up to 4. And if the consumer puts it back in, it's 5 again. 4, 5, in real time. This is what we know as inventory visibility. And as you can understand, connecting the rack inside all the stores from Zara with a common website, it's quite challenging. So yeah, Omnichannel is not just multi-channel or cross-channel. And the reason why people are going omnichannel is because you, the consumer, are demanding it. You want to be able to shop anytime, anywhere, on any device, and not have different products, different prices, different promotions, different models. And all of that, is just creating aggravation to your consumers. What would happen if you had lower prices online? Well, consumers inside the shop would be aggravated because they paid full price. And that is something that before you could hide it, but not today. Everybody's going to be knowing about this. All right, and we also have retailers in trouble because of this, showrooming. People going to the shop armed with their mobile phones, always connected to the internet, perfect information at their fingertips. And they're just trying every product inside the store, using all this, inventory here that you can see, even the Wi-Fi from the store, to go online and buy it from Amazon just because they found it €5 cheaper. But Amazon did not pay for this salary, or Amazon did not pay for the rent. But Amazon is benefiting from this store because consumers like to go and try products out physically. So retailers are in trouble because of this. And I suspect that some of you are also here because of this. And here's the thing that I always tell my clients, that having stores is an advantage. And you have to know how to take advantage of that store. And the second fundamental truth of marketing, the first one is that acquiring new customers is several times costlier than making existing clients loyal. The second fundamental truth is that omnichannel clients have higher customer lifetime value, which is the total value that your brand is going to get from a single consumer as long as they remain a customer, for as many years as they continue shopping from you. So the key here would be to get your online shoppers, those who go to your e-commerce and have your mobile application downloaded, get them to the store, and the other way around. Get the people inside the store to your online destinations. And that will start building more and more loyalty and trust between the consumer and your brand, which will in turn end up with higher lifetime values. All right, so the journey is no longer linear from the ads to the store to your house. Right now, people are jumping from one device to the next device, from one channel, social, to search, from search to email, and you have to keep track of all of these interactions because it's what makes you money. And you want to know what marketing mix is the best to invest in so that you have the highest positive return on this investment. And one of the tools that we're going to be introducing to you in the course is a customer journey map. How you can map your customer journey so that you can actually see which pain points can consumers find along this way. And you can address them with low-cost solutions that deliver a wow experience so that at the end, you convert more and more consumers into advocates and evangelists, which is, a main strategy today for marketers. And that's all I can tell you. All right, I'm just teasing your minds, and I hope you already started to be passionate about what I'm teaching, so that you want to know more and you want to join the course. That's going to be it for me. I actually have to run to another session that I have at an MBA. But I'm going to leave you with Javier, right? And Javier and Carlos are going to be here to answer all of your questions regarding the academics of the course and the administrative of the course. That's all for me today. So thank you very much to Slavena, Sino, Luz, Alina, Marianela, Elisabete, Elena, the mysterious person GD, Marcelino Gutierrez, and Galal. Thank you all. I'll leave you with Javier. Javier, could you please address them?
Yes, of course, Pedro. Thank you very much for your time today. Your session was great, as always. Actually, Pedro is a good friend of mine, and I am so proud of the way that he explains everything. So good luck. Thank you. I'm gonna
Thank you. See you soon. See you soon.
See you soon. Okay, I'm gonna need to ask the IT guys at the war room to go to the next slide, please. So hopefully there's someone there. Yes. Okay. You're gonna need to help me, okay? Because I will need you to go to the next slide for me. Okay, guys. So first of all, thanks again for connecting today to our session. Elizabeth is asking if we can share the PowerPoint. What we will do, Elizabeth, we will post the recording of this session on YouTube, okay? So you will be free to watch it again and again, any times that you need, okay? So as I was saying, thank you guys for coming today to the live session, to the masterclass. The subject of the masterclass, the customer journey, is really, really important. It can make a real big difference when it comes to produce economic performance. As you know, and this is something we teach you from day zero, our goal as marketers is to maximize profit, okay? Marketing is a very wide subject. There are so many different channels, so many different tools, and sometimes even marketers lose the focus. And the focus in marketing is to produce as much profit as possible, okay? So understanding the customer journey, the different stages in the customer journey, understanding very well what digital marketing channels are out there and what digital marketing channels are best used in each of the stages of the customer journey, this decision will have an amazing impact on our economic performance. Galal is asking, can we get the webinar material? As I was saying to Elizabeth, Galal, we will publish the recording of this session in our YouTube channel. At the end of the session, I will write in the chat the link to our YouTube channel, okay? And you will be able to watch it again and again as many times as you need. I'm gonna talk to you about our high impact online program. Can we please go to the next slide? Okay. This is an online course, 100% online course, okay? It consists of different course materials. We have pre-recorded videos where Pedro is giving you the theory, explaining the concepts, okay? And the videos are not very long, like 5 minutes videos. So you can watch them very at your own convenience, which is one of the key points in this course. Meaning that you can watch them anywhere and anytime because they are very short. And Pedro, as you could see some minutes ago, explains everything really, really good, really, really simple. So he has something like, he makes difficult concepts, complex concepts, very easy to understand. And because his extensive experience, he can also provide you with very good examples of everything. So we have a set of pre-recorded videos where Pedro is explaining the basics in digital marketing and some advanced strategic ideas that will help you maximize profit in your digital marketing omnichannel strategies, okay? But as we said at the beginning of this session, our course is really focusing on the practical side, okay? Because after all, you know that information nowadays in the era of the internet, information is available on the internet. The theory is available on the internet. You will have the aid of Pedro because he explains the theory very well, so it's easier for you to understand. But the important part after acquiring the theory is to put it into practice. And for example, along all my journey as a student in different universities, one of the feelings I had, for example, when I did my master degree in digital business, I had the feeling that the course was very good in terms of theory. I learned a lot of theory, but at the end of the course, I didn't feel prepared to put it into practice because in the master, there was very few practice, you know? And this is exactly what we won't do here. Here, we will put a very big focus on the practice. And myself, as your assistant professor, I am responsible of you acquiring all the practical skills that we set as goals for the course, okay? And I can say that as per what the students say about me, and at the end of the session, I will send you the link to my LinkedIn account where you can read the comments of my previous students. I am very, very demanding because I am, but I am also very helpful. And at the end of the course, be sure that you will acquire the skills because I will make sure that you acquire them, okay? That said, we have 6 practical assignments in the course. And in a minute, I will tell you about the practical assignments. But every week, you will be working on a practical assignment. Some of them are individual, some of them are in groups, okay? On top of that, we will have 3 live sessions that will be broadcasted from within the WOW room. So similar to what you are just seeing right now. Pedro will explain to you and get deeper into some of the key subjects in the course live, giving you the opportunity to participate, just like if it was an offline class in a university, as interactive as an offline class, as you can see today. Even more interactive than today because Pedro makes lots of polls, makes lots of questions, and it's also interesting to see the results of the students in real time, okay? And this is something we can do with the WOW room, okay? Then you will also have a discussion board, and I am also the responsible of this discussion board. You can reach me on the discussion board with any questions that you have. regarding to the contents of the course. And in this discussion board, not only I will give you answers to your questions, but you will also interact with your peers, with the other students, okay? And at the end, the discussion board is a really interesting place where to generate collaborative learning, in the sense that all of you will learn from the others. You will share many links to articles, you will share links to resources, to tools. At the end, the discussion board is something that you can use throughout the whole course, and even after the course, you will have access to the pre-recorded videos and to the discussion board as well. And at the end, the discussion board is something that is really, really valuable for you. Sometimes it happens that you have difficulties with a particular tool, and perhaps the discussion board is not the most convenient place where to get help. So in such cases, you can ask for office hours on Skype. Office hours are sessions that we have individually or by groups on Skype, where you can share with me your screen, or I can share with you my screen, and we can I can teach you and you can learn how to solve things that perhaps in the discussion board it is difficult to explain, okay? And on top of that, in this course, we really want you to apply your learnings to your projects. So maybe you are working at a company, perhaps in the marketing department or communications department, and you have questions regarding how to apply your learnings to your real life, to your personal projects in your company. Or maybe you are an entrepreneur and maybe you are creating your own business. I will be at your disposal to answer any questions and guide you on how to implement your learnings into your projects, be them in a company or if you are an entrepreneur and you are creating a startup, okay? So basically you have the theory. Pedro is the teacher who will teach you the theory, and I will be the one who will help you acquire the practical skills. You have both sides in this course. Okay, Marianela has to leave. Thank you very, very much, Marianela, for assisting. And I'm gonna need to ask the IT guys to go to the next slide, please. Okay. As you can see, can you hear me now? Oh, okay, thank you. As you can see, we will have 3 live sessions from the WOW room, okay? Next slide, please. We already talked about the WOW room. Okay, thank you. So we have 4 modules in this course, okay? The first module is about the buyer persona and the customer journey. Before starting to define your marketing strategy, the first step is to understand not only who is in your target audience, who are your potential customers. It is also very, very important to understand what is the segment of your most valuable customers. Like you have your target audience that is this big, but in this target audience, you need to identify a smaller segment, which is the most valuable segment. And this is a very important operation that many marketers don't do. And if they don't do it, they will lose the focus on what type of customers are the most valuable. And this is the first step to be able to maximize your profit. Okay? So the first step when defining a marketing strategy is to define your buyer persona. The buyer persona is an archetype, a representation of your most valuable segment of customers, okay? Once we have defined our most valuable segment of customers, it is time to understand his or her customer journey, okay? We will go through all the stages Pedro already explained some of the stages. We will go through all the stages in the customer journey and understand the psychology of your specific buyer persona, not the psychology of any person, the psychology in specific of your most valuable segment of customers, okay? How they think, how they behave, what the emotions they have, what are the emotions they have in each specific stage, because this will make us be more efficient when defining our messages, when choosing our channels, and we're deciding how much to spend in each of the channels, in each of the stages. So as you can see, these decisions will have a very big impact on the economic performance of your strategy. So they are worth dedicating some time to understand them, okay? In module 2, we will go through all the channels, all the digital marketing channels that can be used in an omni-channel marketing strategy, okay? We will learn about SEO, SEM, display ads, social ads, organic social media, mobile marketing, email marketing, influencer marketing, marketplace marketing. You're gonna learn about every single digital marketing channel, what tools are out there, how the most popular tools are used, what are the segmentation capabilities, okay? Everything that you need to start executing these channels, okay? In module 3, you're gonna learn about analytics, and analytics, it's so important in digital marketing. So everything you do in digital marketing, you can measure it. And this is one of the advantages in comparison to offline marketing. Everything that you do in digital marketing, you can measure the results. And not only the results in terms of how many people visited my website, you can measure how much money I am making and what is my profit. And this is something that we are going to teach you, so that everything you do in digital marketing, you are able to measure the economic results and calculate the profitability, the MROI, marketing return over investment, which is one of the most important KPIs. You are going to learn what a KPI is. A KPI is a key performance indicator. It is a metric that is really, really important, very relevant in terms of your business, okay? So for example, the marketing ROI is very important, okay? And also, the profit is a very, very important KPIs. So from day 0, you're gonna learn that the profit and the MROI are the two most important KPIs, okay? But also you have conversions, conversion rate, cost per conversion, the clicks, the cost per click, the CTR. You're gonna learn about all the main KPIs that are used in digital marketing, okay? And at last, in module 4, you're gonna learn about future marketing trends, okay? Not only we want you to become a pro digital marketer, but we also want you to get an advantage on top of other marketers. So we want you to be prepared to acquire and use some of the most futuristic marketing trends that will be commonly used in a couple of years. So we are going to teach you about artificial intelligence. We will teach you about proximity marketing, the beacons. We are going to teach you about the chatbots, automation. Automation, for example, is something that is really cool. And actually, I myself, as a professional, I have an automation tool that automates different processes in social media. And for example, I have so many clients who get automation for their Instagram accounts, and I am helping them grow their followers base with well-segmented followers, and also to get likes. This is something that right now, more and more businesses are demanding such services. So you are going to learn about automation and chatbots. Also, chatbots are very important. Chatbots can really save you a lot of money and be more efficient and dedicate your workforce to other tasks that are more profitable than answering messages, you know? So yeah, in this model, it is really, really interesting and will enable you to be more prepared than other marketers out there, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the different practical assignments that you will have in this course. We will do 6 practical assignments, okay? The first one is about the buyer persona. So as I said, we're gonna give you data coming from the CRM of business of a vegetarian restaurant, okay? And you will have to sieve through the data and understand and decide which is the most valuable segment of customers from those that are included in the CRM, okay? And you will have to work with descriptive variables and explanatory variables, okay? And once you have decided what your most valuable segment of customers is, you will have to describe this segment and extend this description to other non-provided variables, okay? And you will even set a picture for this buyer persona and decide what his behavior or her behavior is. What are the most frequently social media platforms used, applications, websites, influencers? You will have to tailor a big picture of this segment, of this buyer persona, as this is the first step to be able to work on your digital marketing strategy. The second practical assignment will consist of analyzing the customer journey of this buyer persona, okay? You will need to analyze each of the stages, choose the channels, the digital marketing channels that will be best used in each of the stages. And finally, you will have to design a digital omnichannel marketing strategy that will force you to prioritize different marketing channels and allocate a given budget. And this is something that you will do in every marketing project. You will need to prioritize channels. You will need to decide, okay, we have so many different marketing channels. What digital marketing channels am I going to use, and how much am I going to spend, and why? This is this kind of questions. Sometimes when I get new customers who want to work with me, I am a digital business consultant and I work with all sorts of businesses like multinationals, startups. I work with influencers as well. And one of the most common questions is, Javier, where do I need to invest my money and how much? This question, we're gonna help you to give the best answer possible, okay? You will be able to understand what channels will be best used in each of the stages, and provided a given budget, which most of the times is small, the smaller the budget, the better you will need to be in prioritizing the channels and the budget allocation. And because I work with many startups, I am very used to this sort of situations. So this is something we are going to teach you in this practical assignment. Alina is asking, thank you very much. Okay, she has to go. Thank you very much, Alina, for coming. Okay, спасибо большое. And hopefully we will see you in the course. Let's move to the third assignment. The third assignment is an SEO assignment. Access the website of the vegetarian restaurant. I'm going to repeat because I think my connection was lost. As I said, this is an SEO assignment, and you will be given access to the website of the vegetarian restaurant, to the server where the website is stored, okay? You will be given access by FTP, which is the file transfer protocol. You will connect to the server, you will download to your computer a copy of the website, and you will be asked to work on the blog of the website, of the vegetarian restaurant website, you will have to write an article and optimize it for SEO. Okay, this is a very interesting assignment. Oh, and you will need to edit the blog in HTML code. So you will learn the basics of HTML coding, and you will be able very quickly, because it's not so complicated. I know that sometimes coding looks very complicated, but we will explain all the steps that you need to follow, and it's really easy. All students perform very good in this assignment. You will edit the HTML code and optimize your blog post for SEO, okay? Then you will have a fourth assignment, which is a SEM strategy assignment. We will give you a real budget for Google Ads, and you will need to create a campaign in Google Ads for the search network. You will need to write your ads, choose your keywords, and run a campaign for 1 week with a real budget. And you are going to learn a lot. Students love this exercise. They love to use real money and to get real clicks from real people and be able to see the results in real time. Okay, this is a very exciting assignment. As Pedro said, I am a Google partner. I am a certified Google Ads professional, and I will guide you throughout the process. The fifth assignment is about social media. We are going to give you access to the Facebook business page of this vegetarian restaurant, and you are going to have to run the Facebook page of this restaurant for 1 week. We are going to teach you different viralization tactics, and you are going to have to execute them throughout the whole week, okay? And then you will measure the results. The last assignment is the analytics assignment. Previously, in Module 3, you will have learned how to understand all the reports in Google Analytics. So when you reach the end of the course, you will have to analyze the results of your omnichannel strategy, the SEO strategy, the SEM strategy, and the social media strategy. And you will have to analyze the results, not only how many visits you got and who these people were, but also you will be asked to build a balanced scorecard, which is like an Excel sheet, where you will have to present the economic results, the revenue, the profit, and the MROI, which is the profitability rate of each of your channels and of your omnichannel strategy as a whole. So as you can see, the practical assignments cover all the stages of an omnichannel strategy, from its definition to the execution, and then to the measurement of the results, and also the optimization, because we will ask you to define what your strategy for the second month would be like. So you will need to make a new selection of channels and a reallocation of your budget, similarly to what you would do in a real life project. Next slide, please. Thank you. The length of the course is 5 weeks, and it will start on April the 24th. As we said, the format is 100% online. The language is English. We also have a version of this course in Spanish, okay? But I think people who are right now connected to the session would prefer probably to do it in English. Otherwise, I will also paste the link to the Spanish version in a minute. The fees are 1,850 euros, but if you are an IE alumni, you get a 25% discount. If you are an alumni and you are enrolled in the Alumni Association, you get 40%, okay? Also, if you are not an alumni and you enroll today, because today is the last day of early enrollment, you get 15% of discount, and this ends at the end of today. So you have like 4 hours and a half to reach Carlos Palmero, and if you want to enroll, you can still get this 15% bonus, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. What are the 4 main reasons why someone would take this course? First of all, I am one of the professors. I can say that professors here, we are not just academic professors in the sense that we only work for a university. Here, both Pedro and me are digital marketing consultants. We have extensive experience, and teaching is only something that we do part-time because we want to teach other people what we have learned and are still learning, okay? But as I said, we are consultants, we are professionals. We have many customers, and not many courses will give you the chance to have at your disposal consultants to guide you, not only throughout your learning process, but also to guide you on how to apply your learnings in your real life projects. The second point, flexibility. This is an online course. The videos are very easy to watch. 5 minutes video, the video length in average. You can watch them anytime, anywhere, from your laptop, from your tablet, from your mobile phone, okay? Commitment, and this is something I really take account of. I am really committed to help you acquire the practical skills. I will not be happy until I can see that you acquire the skills, and I am really committed to help you be successful and achieve them, okay? And the final point, as I said before, is that we are going to help you apply your learnings in your real life projects, which means that most likely the amount of money that you will pay for this course will have an immediate payoff. In a matter of some months, probably, you can produce more value in your real life projects than the cost of this course. Next slide, please. Here are some information about the results. We are running right now the 11th edition. Your edition will be the 12th edition. We have a 95% rate of very satisfied alumni. And on the last intake, we got an 82% NPS, which is really, really high. One of the highest Net Promoter scores in IE's courses. And I think that this is because students get the practical value of this course and apply the learnings really, really fast. Also, the average grade we get on every intake is really, really high. In the last intake, it was a 91. And this is because personally, I don't accept assignments that are unfinished. I always try to give the students the possibility to improve their assignments until I can see that they acquired all the skills. So I am providing constant support to my students until they can get a good grade, which means that they acquired the skills. Next slide, please. Probably you know about IE Business School, but if you don't, here is a list of our rankings, and this is something that the school wants us to show you. You have a lot of information about IE on the internet, so I'm not going to dedicate a lot of time, but I need to tell you that IE is one of the most widely recognized universities in terms of online courses. Paulo is asking, will you send the record of this masterclass to our email? I have missed the first 25 minutes. Hi, Paulo, and welcome to the session. As I said before, we are recording this session, and we will post it in a couple of days in our YouTube channel. At the end of the session, I'm going to share with you the link to our YouTube channel, and you will be able to watch it as many times as you want. Next slide, please. Okay, now it's time for you to make all your questions. So I'm all yours. I can dedicate some time to answer all your questions. And if you don't have questions now, it's okay. you will be able to reach me before the start of the course. And also you will be able to reach Carlos, who is the head of recruitment, if you have questions regarding the admission process. Next slide, please. Okay, so as I said, if you have any questions regarding the admission process, you have to reach Carlos. I'm going to paste in the chat Carlos' contact details. Okay, so his name, so you can copy them and keep them. His name is Carlos Palmero. He's the head of recruitment. I'm gonna send you his email address so you can copy it. Here it is, carlos.palmero@ie.edu. And here is his phone number and the WhatsApp. Thank you, Elena. And also I'm gonna copy paste here my contact details. My name is Javier Hernandez. Okay, Elena, thank you for coming. I am the assistant professor. Here is my email. Here is my phone. And here is my Skype. Feel free to add me on Skype. Feel free to write me on WhatsApp with any questions that might arise before the start of the course, okay? Next slide, please. Okay, so now I'm gonna send you the links where you can see, where you can read the recommendations that some students made about my work as a teacher, okay? I highly recommend you to read them. This is the link where you can read the experiences of other students. And also, if you haven't still visited the website of the course, I highly recommend you to visit it. And here is the link, the link to the website, DM Testimonials. This is the link to the website. If you scroll down, you will reach the section named Testimonials. And here we have recorded the experiences of some students. Some students wanted to share with future candidates their experience with this course. So I highly recommend you to watch these videos, to watch these testimonials. Please, next slide. Okay, thank you. And so if you are ready to enroll, here is the link that you can follow. And it really takes just 2 minutes to enroll. You have to provide your personal information and answer some questions about your motivations. Then Carlos will revise your inquiry and contact you back saying if you are accepted, okay? And now if we don't have any more questions, we can go to the last slide where you will have the link to our YouTube channel. That's it, which I'm also going to paste here in the chat. So in a couple of days, we will publish the recording of this session in our YouTube channel. So if you want, feel free to watch it again and again. And if you have any other questions, you can, of course, reach me on WhatsApp, on Skype, or by email. And if you want to enroll, or if you have any questions regarding the admission process, please contact Carlos. So guys, is there any question, or we can finish this masterclass? Elizabeth, any question? Elena, Sino, okay. Galal, okay. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, and I hope to see you soon in the course. Thank you. Goodbye.